My family and I go on the same vacation every summer. We go the same week of the year to the same little town, and we even stay in the exact same cabin. Last year, I whipped out my cameras for the first time, and well, it didn't quite go so well. I was shooting black and white at the time, and unfortunately, all of the rolls from this trip were incorrectly processed as color, and therefore did not come out how I shot them. It was a huge bummer to say the least. But we're back this year, and we're gonna redeem ourselves, and we're shooting with color. So I grabbed some 250D color motion picture film from Midwest Film Company and loaded it into my trusty F3 for a little walk around my happy place. And just as expected, virtually nothing has changed around here. Very, very quickly though, I started noticing details I hadn't ever in any of the years prior. Already a testament to bringing your camera to places you've already been many times before. There's a really special feeling to this place. I wish I could just hand it to you right through the screen. It's warm, dusty, and dry, but it's lush and green and mountainous. I might argue it is the perfect environment. The days don't get too hot, the nights get really cool, and time just kind of somehow sort of stands still. This town is nestled right alongside a river where we end up wandering sometimes many times a day. And some days we chase more of this beautiful crystal clear runoff and hike for it. With sunny blue skies, we would be down there real soon, wading in all that gorgeous water. Being someone who grew up in the middle of the blistering hot desert, any naturally occurring body of water, especially when it's this clear, is going to literally blow my mind so hard. So I always have a bit of a dramatic pause when I get to these places because it's a lot for me to comprehend. Yes, even still as a full-grown woman. Whatever, all right? It's absolutely stunning. I mean, look at it.
Oh my God, and then go right there. 1, 2, 3.
Now, I don't know exactly what it is, but my mind always tends to open up so much when I'm in the water. Whether that be standing in a river or swimming laps in a pool. I tend to get really good ideas when I'm in or surrounded by the water. I mean, the shower, you can't beat the shower. That is my all-time for good ideas. But it was actually during this swim that I just had an idea. And that is to try and photograph the night sky on film for my first time ever. Which actually perfectly leads me to talk to you about milanote, where I actually planned this whole redemption project after last year's debacle. And it's also where I tend to plan a lot of other things too. For those who are unfamiliar, milanote is a free online planning tool, like a digital notebook, but I promise it's much more than what it sounds like. And the reason I bring it up now is because shooting Astro on film was not a part of my original plan. So I need to update some things, my script, my mood board, and everybody involved. But because I had my iPad in my bag, this took me no more than 10 minutes, and anybody I've shared the board with will see my changes live on their end without me having to even notify them. Which means I don't have to send an email and I can move on with my vacation. Well, not without checking the storyboards for an upcoming Sunny 16 project. Okay, and the absolute best part, milanote is totally free. I know, it doesn't seem like it should be right, but it is. And while they have so many resources like these templates for photographers and filmmakers, really any productive adult could use this tool. So if you want to try it out yourself, I made it easy for you. There's a link in my description box. All right, So now that I've made up my mind about that, we can keep on shooting. And good thing, because this is the time of day when the light starts to get really good around here. I don't go far to look for frames here. It's something I did last year too. I intentionally do not go out of my way to make epic images. This vacation just isn't that kind of vacation. This is the sleep as much as you can, walk around when you have the energy, but mostly sit around and talk kind of vacation. And I don't let my photos or any video I'm making interrupt that. So my goal during this week is to make the best images I can within the slow daily life we live while we're here. And I can feel it somewhere deep down. This could be the start of a very, very beautiful practice. The park we stay in has all sorts of ordinary beauty. Laundry hanging on the line, doors left open from eager kids, readers swinging in hammocks. And with the sun setting, the shadows from the trees get super long and the light gets golden. Last year, I vividly remember getting a detail shot of one of these mossy tree trunks, but with entirely different camera and lens. But my curious self couldn't help but see what we would get with the 50mm on my f3. And just before the sun went down, we hit the nearby brewery at the top of the hill for dinner and, well, we can't resist ourselves, some games. The night was shaping up to be absolutely perfect for some astrophotography, but to warm up for those really long exposures, I wanted to take some shorter ones of this empty cabin that caught my eye earlier in the day. I'd seen this horseshoe and I thought it was awesome, but then I also saw the trees around this cabin and I saw the shadows it'd create, and I knew I just needed to come back and photograph it at night. This first shot wasn't a long exposure, but this one was. I exposed for 15 minutes at f11, and this is all on Portra 160. Looking back at it now, I wish I gave it a few more minutes, but I still really love how it came out. I loaded all my gear into my car so I could bring it all over to the park lodge as sort of home base for my first really, really long exposure. There's a tree on the golf course right down the hill from the lodge that I absolutely love, and I want to make it the subject of my Star Trails shot. Hi, good morning, or good night. I'm not really sure which one. It is... what time is it? Where's my phone? It's like 1:30ish in the morning right now. The night sky is so clear this week that I can't help but try my shot at astrophotography on film. We're putting in Portra 160. She's paroling. We're ready. Kit Kat, you want to come with me?
1 hour later.
So that didn't work. It was honestly like a movie scene. I set up my tripod. Probably took me 5 to 10 minutes to like find my composition. It was so hard to focus on the tree. I like second guessed myself, kept switching. Finally, I'm like, okay, this is it. I go to press the shutter. Sprinklers. It's 3:30. Not one photo is taken. I'm feeling discouraged. I'm feeling like I want to do this again tomorrow night. So the idea here is that this floodlight basically sends a slice of light onto the golf course, which is putting a side light on the subject, which is this really adorably shaped tree on the golf course that I just have adored here for the last few years. Because there is so much ambient light, like this floodlight, the moon is like really bright. There's a few practical lights in the background, and there is also a highway along the side of my scene where headlights and taillights could come through. So I'm prepared for all of that. I've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on how I want to attempt this, because I really only have one attempt, because I know that the sprinklers come on at 3 a.m. And I want to expose for like an hour, 20 minutes, because I want trails. So this is kind of like a one shot situation here. I'm so scared. Okay, let's go. Hi, camera. Cutie butt. Okay. So over here's the tree. I'll show you guys. Oh my god, you cannot see it. It's right here. And it's so pretty. You can't see it. I guess that's a good thing. So the hardest part here is getting focus of the tree, since it is so dark. I have a feeling though it actually could be infinity. I may pull back from infinity just a slight bit, and that feels a little safer. But yeah, the focus, I'm really, really nervous about the focus. That's for damn sure. So let's see what I can do right now. There's too much light. Okay, gotta get rid of this. For this shot, I decided to shoot at f11 for about an hour and a half. I set my alarm for an hour and 20 just to give myself some time to return to my camera to end the exposure. Okay, I just started the timer and hit the shutter. I don't know why that was so nerve-wracking. This is like so crazy to wait this long. Such a new experience. I am terrified that the sprinklers are gonna come on, so I am actually going to hang out right around here, even though my cabin, I could go sleep right now for this hour and a half. I won't be able to sleep because of the sprinklers. So my car's right here, I have my laptop, I have things I can do. I don't know, what should we do for the next 90 minutes? I am kind of hungry. After having a warm cup of tea, I headed back to the lodge, and to kill some more time, I took a few shots through the windows. I had to come inside my car because it is so cold outside, so I am warming up in here, and then every once in a while I'm rolling down the window to listen for the sprinklers. So far, so good. I'm so tired. Okay, I only have about 27 more minutes of this exposure. Honestly, that's a good cat nap. Is it time to nap? Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's go stop this exposure before the sprinklers come on. Oh, God. Okay. Alright, we gotta end this. Here we go. Okay. There it was. Wow. Oof. The relief that ran through my body when I saw this shot in my scans may be unmatched. I am so happy about this frame. Because of how much ambient light there is, from the city in the distance to the light on the tree, that all makes it so the stars are less pronounced. But I did my best with the scan to make them pop as much as I could. I absolutely love how the tree up front being lit makes it so the tree line in the background is totally blacked out. It's honestly exactly how I saw it in my head. The big surprise for me here actually was just how delicious the colors ended up being, and a little bit the fact that it's in focus. Hallelujah. All right, so we are headed to a darker spot. I want as little ambient light as possible, and there is a little corner of this park that could be perfect. So we're going on just a little drive to set the camera up. Lit foreground could be wild. Okay, there's a tree. While you can't see it, there is a humongous pine tree. I am so tired. There is a humongous pine tree behind me, and I am using that as my next subject for Star Trails. Who cares? I'm so tired. What am I saying? I'm just gonna get it. Bye. The vision here is that the top of the tree is in the bottom middle of the frame, and then star trails curve around it, which could have happened if I hadn't gone back to my cabin and crawled into a warm bed and turned the lights off. Because I completely missed my alarm, and I woke up well after sunrise in a total panic. But don't worry, that's not the reason the shot was ruined. It got too cold and my lens fogged up.